Hello, welcome. I'm going to be doing an I Ching reading today. So find what resonates with you in this, put it in the comments. I'm new to this, I'm a bit nervous, but we shall begin. So I'm going to go pretty deep here. So you're going to be learning a lot about the I Ching, different parts of it in depth. I want to be doing the elemental information, the more occult, esoteric information. And I'm going to be using Benabel Wen's book and possibly for some tarot. So this is what I think I want to do more with my channel, is like open up both like exploring to learn it with me, as well as like this is your reading, your understanding what's happening. I'm going to get my green tea real quick. Okay, so I also like using these oracle, they're like oracle I Ching cards, so you can see the picture before we start. So we're going to start with 50. So you have the cauldron here. So this is fire and wood. When it comes to fire, and because we have it, the upper trigram is going to be dealing in the primary hexagram is going to be dealing with karmic, spiritual, predestined influences, spirit, heaven's will, or direct counsel to you coming from spirit. So that's the first part of this in the cauldron. We're going to be looking at so fire is the above cauldron. That's the 2 lines and then the yin hexagram here. So when it comes to fire, so just off the bat, so what spirit is telling you with the karmic, spiritual, predestined influences, we're having fire is born from the wood energy. It fortifies the earth. It's being able to support life. So I think in your situation, the divine is highlighting your ability to support life. There is fire also has the color red. Its mystical practice is divination. The alchemical process is synthesis, integration, assimilation, illumination. And hello, Even J. Bowen, welcome. Say hey, what's up? So this is livestock, goat, the taste bitter, young adulthood, amaranth, corn, innovative, loving, blissful, festive, passionate, motivated leader, sensual, assertive, discipline. So a fire disposition enables one to withstand the cold better than average, heart disease a bigger risk, fire dominated, prone to being active in the spring and summer. Let's see where else I need to go in my notes. This is also, the fire also has to deal with the philosopher. It's solar. It's full of swords, spears, helmets, light, ambitious, extroverted, intelligent, cultured, phoenix, honor, fame, reputation, ambition, patron of scholars, high magic. So the next part, let's see here. Okay, so the cauldron. We have line 2 and 3 that are changing. So but we'll start with the introductory message here. So you are in the developmental phase. Nourish the inner temple. The issue is the alchemy for nurturing talent and virtue so there may be progress, innovation, and success. That alchemy, however, is reserved exclusively for the worthy. What is needed right now is for you to prevail in your endeavor is a personal catharsis. Greater nourishment is needed. Bring forth offerings of sustenance to both the inner temple and the outer temple of the gods. Be sure to cleanse and purge the cauldron thoroughly of its grime before you cook with it. Good fortune and favors bestow on the first who first purifies and alchemizes. Supreme good fortune and favors from heaven. You embark upon a direct and straight path to higher rank. Go forth, focused and steady in alignment with divine command. Find your destiny. Wood creates and empowers fire. Fire corresponds with synthesis, integration, assimilation, and illumination. Kindling from challenges you've overcome, now light the fire, empowering you to shine. The sage will inspire the people to serve in accordance with their capacity ordained by fate. Or goes the Confucian commentary appended to Hexagram 50. So for the person who's watching, feel free to put anything in the chat here. Moreover, the sage must now complete the mission. The sage's mission. Heaven's will is the sage's will. Bringing peace and prosperity to the people is the sage's destiny. To unceasingly cultivate knowledge and wisdom in the sage's nature. This is the developmental phase. And welcome, Deluius. Welcome to the live. Fire is burning upon the gathered wood, and the cauldron is ready. Offerings of sustenance are given to both the inner temple of the personal nourishment and the outer temple of the gods to carry forth the will of the gods. Nurture your talent and virtue to initiate great progress, innovation, and success. They represent also heaven meeting earth and humanity forged by the copper, these big, big cauldrons they would use over there. So 49, the hexagram is about revolution, synthesis, the changing of the social order. This is the first hexagram that I've ever gotten in my entire life. When we go to the one after that, this one's 50. So this message is talking about the events after a regime change. Things are really transforming in your life in a very powerful way. So this is the restoration and reconstruction of what the descent had destroyed. This is developmental phase, the building of new foundations. Establishing a new order after dismantling an old one is much harder than dismantling the process of revolution itself. After revolution, the hard parts begins, having to design and build a new structure that will be better than one that preexisted. So you might have had a lot of chaos in your life. Now you are trying to build something new. So more information here. So with the second line, so 2 and 3 are highlighted. In regard to this fire energy that's happening, we have the physical, medical, technological factors at play. Something with your health. We have a moment when a situation begins to gain momentum, the blooming and developmental phase. So that's a beautiful time. We have line 3, legal matters, civil affairs, social affairs are key factors at play. This is the moment in the narrative arc when the plot thickens. Yeah, this is like the conflict line. Complications, conflicts, oppositional forces uh, have the most impact on the situation at hand. Also with line 2 and 3, this is the start of the journey or the endeavor, the beginning of the undertaking, initial experiences, you're learning lessons. This is how to prepare for a different journey from the one you are currently on as well. And we have, this is the primary hexagram we're focusing on is 50, so it's about Genesis, supporting, fortifying, predetermining potential. It's the path of nature. We have with line 3, the artisan, the rule of the civil, social, and legal matters, complications, seeking clarity, community, skill work, the guilds, specialized craft development. Okay, so with the upper trigram and the primary hexagram, this is the karmic, spiritual, predestined influences, spirit, and the upper trigram is heaven's will and counsel to you from spirit. So we have that fire we talked about. So more in regarding the lower trigram, so I haven't talked about that. In the primary hexagram, the 50 is people and personalities involved. The human factor, the physical environment are what's at the foundation. So that's wind. That's wind at this one here. So let's have a look at the wind energy. So in regard to these people, they're probably more of like more thinkery and more yeah, so these people that are in your life, they're focused on elegance, grace, refinement, fastidiousness. So these are some really powerful connections. This is the dragon, the snake, resources, finances. Yeah, so you're dealing with the shaman, and this is the southwest direction. Cultivation, flexibility, permeate. So with wind, it's also in the Wu Jing. It's the wood. So tools of the architect, carpenter, white, wind instruments, bird songs. Also the immortal is like the patron of the witches, the priestesses. So pretty powerful energy here. Some more information about the Wu Jing, about these people. So wood is created by water. Rain produces plant life. Growth of wood is dependent on the energy of water. It exhausts water. Wood consumes water and enriches itself with it. Wood depletes water. It yields to metal. A metal blade will cut down a tree. Wood creates fire. Wood supports fire. Wood empowers fire. Subdues earth. Wood and earth conflict. Wood dominates earth. And wood depletes the earth of its nutrients. Yeah, wood people, in regard to these people that the I Ching's highlighting for you. So this person's chi has a golden undertone. This is someone who has thinner or has a thin pulse. They are active, nimble, curious, sensitive, flourish. Groot-like people. Under an open sky, wood-dominant personalities are curious, fearless. When it comes to trial and error, their chi is more empowered and productive during the spring and summer and less productive during autumn and winter. If you're curious about this, you can actually look up which element you are. Type in like Wu Jing and put in your time, birthday there if you get curious. More information about wood. Yeah, artistic, idealistic, altruistic, curious. Negative traits, demanding, inflexible, unyielding. We have oats and wheat. This is the life phase of the childhood or early childhood development, so they're going to have a more immature energy to them. This is also the endocrine system and purifying chrysalis stage. We have the morning and Jupiter, grow and germinate. The Azure Dragon. It's the Azure Dragon, number 3. It's the heavenly stem Yang and heavenly stem Yin. The metal is also sensitivity and the virtue is kindness. Also, I talked about the personality being charitable, benevolent, generous spirit, open, humane. So it seems very like a symbiosis energy. So that's the human factor. So a lot of like wood in the human factor. And the karmic, spiritual, predestined influences are fire, spiritual, bringing a lot of fire here. So those very like grounded, symbiotic, expansive like people and parts of yourself moving into the quick, fiery parts. Yeah. Now let's read the highlighted lines in Benabel Wen's book about 2 and 3 here. So the cauldron is bountiful, fruitful. My counterpart is feeling malaise, thus cannot approach the cauldron to dine with me. A favorable outcome. So when it comes to the changing lines, this is what's going to happen and the actions you should take sure to ensure the best possible outcome for yourself. I'm going to be reading the bold text, which is King Zhou's riddles, as well as the commentary annotations and the theme summary. The cauldron is bountiful, fruitful. My counterpart is feeling malaise, thus cannot approach the cauldron to dine with me. Favorable outcome. An undertaking of ambitious proportions, with a lofty mission that was prepared with great care. The first part of the oracle advice here is to handle such a cauldron with great care, since everything is about the inception and the purpose is aligned with heaven. There is fruition, a great start as the foundations are being built. However, now the plot thickens. Cho would be translated as companion, spouse, peer, or mate, but it could also be translated to indicate enemy or opposition. The support for interpreting it as opposition comes from the image of a 6-line hexagram. Three yang lines at line 2 and 3, which, by the way, 2 and 3 is highlighted here. 4 represents the belly of the cauldron. 5 represents your opponent. 5 represents your opponent, one who's occupying the position against you. 2 and 4 represent obstruction between you and a yang line, the occupying polar opposite position of you. The yin line of 5, the other can be a companion, spouse, or enemy, cannot approach to dine with you because yang of lines 3 and 4 keep the two of you apart. The translation is counterpart, a neutral way for accounting for both interpretive approaches. Essentially, the other who is feeling unwell and thus unable to dine by the cauldron occupies whatever position and perspective are opposite to yours. The counterpart is a yin to your yang, which could be complementary, but is also naturally adversarial because you two represent polar opposites. When you want to go right, the counterpart wants to go left. This is one who always has an objective to your proposal. There is an innate rivalry between you and the counterpart. But nevertheless, the position is at the base of a full belly, so its final prognostication is favorable. The oracle bone script is a person sitting facing a food vessel, approaching to eat or getting ready to eat. The second part of the oracle advice to you is a tension between the two sides, one occupied by you and one occupied by the other. This could very well be a division within yourself, logical and pragmatism, and the yang are dominated to seek to go in one direction, but your intuition and irrational feelings, the yin, won't support the direction, be it one against the other or one against the self. The two sides are unable to meet and arrive at agreement. There's an unsteady imbalance, and it needs to be resolved in your next course of action. The traditional parable for the second line of court officials from the old regime is one who does not support the newly ordained king. So when the king holds a great feast, the court officials refuses to attend the banquet and thus refuses to dine with the king. The counsel to the king is this: the court officials does not have enough power support from the opposition to do harm, but there's a tension you'll need to eventually address. So bear that in mind. The situation is favorable, and so continues to advance on your endeavor, but remain on guard for opposition, who will surely become more vocal and combative in the times to come. So that's the if statement. We're going to go to 35. The technique I'm using is where we take the second line and then we apply it to the transforms hexagram second line as like an if-then statement. So I'm going to go to 35. Okay. So in regard to this back and forth that's happening with you and this person, right, we have this we have this difficulty that's happening back and forth, like you're about to eat a meal, tension by two sides, something that's been working. There's a inception, something you're building, and there's something opposing you. It could be someone opposing you, and there's this lofty mission that something you've been planning. And here is the reconcile with that opposite part of you. I'm also thinking of like the card. We have there is progress. So if the cauldron is bountiful and there's fruition, and the counterpart is feeling malaise, thus they cannot approach the cauldron to dine with them, a favorable outcome. So the cauldron is bountiful. Then I would say there is progress, there is sorrow. You will still find your fortune. It says, now receive a great blessing. All hail the Queen Mother. The start of an undertaking for progress. There are obstacles, and now you encounter such hardships. There are loss, distress, disappointments, afflictions, grief, and sadness. The Queen Mother of the West is the guardian goddess of the ancestors. Can also be related to the patriarchal grandmother. And all hail is you would set a boundary. So this is a veneration. And this is affirming that the divination is at hand. the Queen Mother will generously bestow gifts upon you. This is one of the great blessings bestowed from your ancestors. So this is material prosperity, security, in a form of safekeeping. So whoever's watching this, you have some protection from your ancestors that's coming through here, which is really going to help you with whatever this project is. And these, like we said, these wood type people, these more benevolent, virtuous, optimistic, expansive people. And heaven's message to you is talking about all of that fire energy. And it's activating the wood, right? It's activating these different people in life. Heaven is giving you that motivation, assertion, and passion. That's putting those people to work, right? So more information with the third line, okay, conflict line. And this is the if statement. Broken handles on the cauldron. Their endeavor comes to a stop. Cannot dine on peasant soup. Liberating brings rains, bring catharsis, and will be favorable. Dramatic events leading up to this point have caused one to be purged of emotions. A sudden and profound realization comes to light. What had been blocked and suppressed, but in deep, will finally be let out. That's a good omen. Notice how the word broken is the name for hexagram 49. Revolution. Metaphorical way, one could say that the handles of the cauldron are in revolt. The word used for there is a general neutral pronoun which indicates his, her, their, or one. The image of one seeking to undertake an activity or journey somewhere, but the intention is being blocked, suppressed, or stalled. The copper ritual cauldrons were enormous and heavy, so only one way to move one would be to affix change to them by their handles and have several persons lift them for transport. So you might be having a number of people working on this project, whatever it is. Okay. And by the way, thanks forever. I see 2 people are watching. Feel free to chat, whatever comes to you, however you relate to this reading. We're talking about someone like a project, and there's these benevolent people, and the fire. Heaven's message is this fire that's coming down. It's the karmic, spiritual, predestined influences in your reading that's happening. So the Oracle's counsel here is to listen what other has to say. You need to hear the solution to the problem you'll face if you only listen. So heaven is speaking to you. Heaven is giving you a lot of messages. You need to be listening to those people, because these people in your life are benevolent. Like we got the symbiosis energy with the wood. This is a pretty positive energy. These are very dependable and growth-oriented people. So you've been doing good in who you've been putting around your life. So here, the pheasant in the Oracle is describing greasy, fat, oily. Traditionally was described for creamy pheasant soup. From the passage, Fang Yu Ku Hui, used on the Shang Oracle Bones inscription, means to exile, to cut off the shackles from, to send far away, to banish. The meaning of this passage is falling rain cleanses away contrition. The passage is a metaphor where rain bears the figurative meaning of teachings and instructions and lessons learned. Another meaning is rule, law, and reason. Like tanning the cow leather is a figurative of speech for revolution. 49. Falling rain cleanses away the contrite is a figure of speech. An idea that if you bring teachings and moral instruction on the rule of law and reason, then the grief will subside. The meaning is that of catharsis, purging, purification from the rain, whether it's literal rain falling from the sky or as teaching and life lessons. So you're going to have to do some in this season. When you're reading this, you're going to have to be looking into different reasons and teachings, some instructions. This is a time of great learning for you. This is a time for great learning for you, right? And that line changes into the third line. So if you act on that advice, here's the outcome. Everyone is as it all should be. Disappointments vanish. All is well. The matter unfolds as it was intended. Expectations are met. Wishes fulfilled. Stay hopeful and stay true to yourself. Wow. Congratulations, y'all. This is a great energy here for 35. It's even called easy progress or advancement. I'll give you some energy, some information on the transformed hexagram here. So we have one moment. So again, we have fire. So in regard to the Wu Jing information, yeah, it's telling you to use fire. So with the initial karmic, spiritual, predestined influences being fire, yeah, we have fire again. So I would say lean into that fire, lean into that motivation, assertion, passion, all of that fire. And fire nourishes earth. So it's gonna nourish these parts of yourself that need nourishment, right? That's in the Wu Jing. We also have Earth is also in this transformed information of the secondary hexagram. We have seeking balance, purpose, stability in relationships. We have aspiring for harmony. So this situation is gonna end with releasing all of those things. I need to get a glass of water. I'm pretty thirsty. One moment. I'm back, y'all. Okay. Fire is also the Fire is also the awakening expansion is the energy that you need to push through in the secondary hexagram, and the upper trigram is awakening, expansion, pushing the boundaries, enthusiasm for life. You're going to be needing to cultivate that, use that in your, pray to the fire gods, move through them, and that'll push this progress forward, move these people, because these wood-like people in your life, they need that spark, they need that ember, and then it's going to nourish the stability into the situation. It's going to nourish, because we have earth, right? I'll give you some more information, Wu Jing. And thank you for whoever just joined. Feel free to message anything in the chat. We really appreciate you being here. So, yeah, 2 people here. Welcome. Oh, they get scared off, I think, when I... Some more wood information. So we have fire. I'm looking for earth. One moment. Yeah, so some information about wood, what your situation will change into. This is Saturn and the stomach, judgment in the brain. This is the thumb. This is about dignity, clarity, loyal, reliable, patient, a philanthrope, confident, diligent, persevering. Negative traits can be misanthrope, dull, materialistic, insecure. We have potatoes, mushrooms, cereals, roots, lodestone, yellow zircon. We have clay, terracotta, stone, ceramic, marble, granite, mountains, square phones, neutral tones. We have adolescence and also adulthood. This is the Confucian 5 relations, husband and wife, or spouse and spouse. So wood is, let's see, with the earth, earth is created by fire. So this fire situation, what you want is going to be created through that inspiration, that passion. Earth is depending on the energy of fire. Earth also exhausts fire. Earth will smother the embers of fire. Earth will extinguish fire. Yields to, earth is yielding to, remember those, we talked about the wood people that are there in the first hexagram. So we have these, the trees push into the earth and extract their nourishment from the earth, depleting the earth. So these wood people are also extracting up the nutrients in this situation, as well as it subdues water. So there's might be some blocking of the emotional flow in this situation too. So earth traits, some of these people, we have those dominance of earth and the personal chi, the children closest to the mother goddess of the earth. Their physiques tend to show closeness to the ground. So some of you guys are going to be getting a lot more earthy with this situation. More solid, earthy undertones. They tend towards introversion. They take longer at decisions, growth. They tend to be risk averse. Comment if you are earth or you know someone who's earth. Earth dominates and blesses the individual with longevity and stability. The root causes of illness or weakness tend to come from the spleen. Those who are earth dominant are more empowered by the chi in natural autumn and winter. They feel more productive in those seasons and less productive over the spring and summer. Fascinating. This is also the archetype of the enchanted visionary. Flowers and herbs are the ritual tour. And this is the torso. And yeah, receptive, loyal, nurturing, easygoing. So also the underworld, health and receptivity is the chi quality of this. And the aspects of relationships, romance, reproduction. And the patron of artists and dreamers, Lan Chai He, is the immortal of this. So back to 35 here. Yeah, so it looks like in this situation, the difficulties are set aside. There is disappointments vanish, expectations met, which wishes fulfilled, provided you take those advices. Some information on the conclusatory message here, the introduction of 35. So you have stood where you are for long enough. Now is a time for advancement. May the pawn become a queen. Flames must burn. In the wake of the ashes, you are the phoenix that rises. Support those above you with loyalty. Support those below you with generosity. That is how you expand your influence. Advance like a mouse. Surmount the throne like a lion. All hail the Queen Mother. A ray of light rises above the ground. Progress. The sage's nature is inherently good, so as the pure light on the sage. And the sage is talking about you. The nature is illuminated, brighter and brighter, ever more illustrious and virtuous. The Marquis of Kang casts many extravagant horses of tin. He is beloved and treated with great courtesy. After King Wu established the Zhou dynasty, Shang loyalists in the east launched a rebellion. King Wu sends a great political statesman like the Duke of Zhou to quash the rebellion, but then also sends more romantic and charismatic brother, the Marquis of Kang, to win the hearts of the people, which he does. Once united, the Zhou kingdom advances, ushering in one of China's golden age. Wow, very powerful situation. You are like the Marquis of Kang. You gain progress and advancement through your charisma and demonstrated virtues. You are well loved. Through your likability, you gain influence. The reference to tin is comprises metal and change, as in the Book of Changes. It is an implied meaning of the word tin. To be wise, to know that you must be willing to change before you can create change. 35 is first about personal advancement through cultivation, then about social advancement by nurturing the hearts of people. Literally translated to meeting 3 times a day, which means to be so loved and well attended to that your presence is wanted at least 3 times today. Here's is translated is beloved and treated with great courtesy. So what this 35, what this situation is culminating in, yeah, you're purifying yourself through the cauldron of these more base materials. You're alchemizing, moving from, they have the wood, these people, and like burning it up and inspiring. And then it's moving into a lot of progress in your personal advancement and your own cultivation of virtue of yourself, of what you're working on. And that will lead to something, really good stuff. You cannot, because like I say, when it comes to virtue, if you start something virtuous, you've already succeeded. If you start something that isn't virtuous, then you've already failed. Like symbiosis, when you can think in something way bigger than just the small little microscope that society wants us to think, you get a lot more energy, you get a lot more power that comes through. Does anyone have any questions? Feel free to comment if you have any questions or comments. So yeah, the Queen Mother, the Earth Goddess, is being highlighted here, which is pretty awesome. What else? Let me think if I should say anything else. Yeah, why don't we look at I think it'd be fun to look at the human design gates here, just to reiterate with the lines of this reading. Yeah, so the physical, technological, blooming and developmental phase, that's going to go well for you. Take the advice. And then line 3 is the oppositional forces having an imposing on the situation. That's going to also turn out well, provided you take this advice. So yeah, if you guys want to book a one-on-one session, let me know. And I incorporate tarot too as well into it. And which reminds me to do a tarot card reading. I wanna get this situation here. So okay, wow, this is a very big transformation that's happening. You can see death. Yeah, a lot of transformation. Amazing. She's growing from the tree, right? She's growing straight out of the tree. So beautiful. I'm gonna look up the human design gates here. So for 50 and 35. So line 2 is like the hermit. Natural talents, all for self-discovery, retreat. Martyr is the third one, trial and error. Go to my neutrino design app. Yeah, so we have 50. 50 here in human design is about establishing, changing values, responsibilities within society, control and dictates the rules for the community, keeping it cohesive. It's in the spleen center. Survivalist in nature related to food and provisions. Gate 50 feels deeply responsible for the well-being of the community and challenges the laws that determine its well-being. This is also the ability, the intensity. So the good side of it is the ability to maintain balance and uphold one's difficult beliefs in even difficult situation, like a leader who remains committed to their principle during a crisis. And the negative side is someone who holds to principles that may create conflict with others, preventing one from achieving their goals. For instance, a business owner refusing to work with a client because of personal values. And whoever just joined, welcome. Feel free to comment where you're from. So we have the line 2 and 3, like we said. So line 2 of the cauldron is determining to stick with one's values despite the opposition and resistance, which is an activist who continues to fight for their cause, even in the face of backlash. And we have line 3, the power of persuasion, manipulation to achieve one's goals, like a successful politician who knows how to manipulate public opinion to their advantage. This is also the godhead Minerva, circuit of defense. The type is generated, the center is spleen. This is the quarter of duality, purpose fulfilled relationships. So who's ever reading this part of your reading, you're gaining so much. Yeah, you're getting a lot of new relationships, and that's like a key part of this, a lot of relationships. And the fear is that you're afraid of responsibility and avoid it, or you take on too much responsibility. Fear is losing a loved one. You are either aware of your responsibility for others, or you do not want to accept it. So yeah, it's also part of the harmonic gate of caring and the preservation and design of custodianship. So pretty cool. And I'm going to look at gate 35 here. So this is, so the situation changes and concludes on the hunger for something new. And with 35, it's a need for change. If something gets bored, if nothing happens, it wants to experience everything there is and needs other people to experience these things together with. This gate is about progress It knows when a change is close or needed. It senses that the wheel needs to turn, leading to the next step, which might not be logical, but it is a necessary one. If one jumps into new experiences without following their strategy and authority, bad results can follow. So this is with 2 and 3. Again, it's the ability to embrace the ebbs and flows of inspiration and understanding, a natural process, like an artist who trusts the creative progress. The negative side is acting out of fear, stagnation, instead of inspiration, leading to unproductive and ineffective actions. For example, a musician who continues to make the same type of music out of fear of trying something new and failing. Another part of it is the negative part of line 3 of 35 is being too focused on personal ambition and control, which hinders collaboration and progress, like a CEO who disregards the idea and input of their employees. The positive side is creating a culture of personal and professional development within a team through effective leadership and communication, such as a team leader who fosters positive and challenging environments for growth. So this is also the channel of Jack of all trades, harmonic gate crisis. This is opposite gate fixed rhythms, circuit sensing, Godhead Lakshmi type manifested. This is the throat center, the quarter of civilization, the purpose fulfilled through form. So you'll be using your voice as well with this secondary hexagram. Yeah, so the wind is feeding the fire in the situation, and then the fire is nourishing the earth. This is a very, whoever's reading this is a very harmonious situation that's happening. So congratulations. Let me see if there's anything else I can mention. Yeah, the Queen Mother's blessing you with a great transformation. So you can see death. I kind of want to do some more tarot. If anyone has any, I might do a reading. If anyone puts a question in there. But let's see more about the situation that I did already. Okay. Queen of Cups reverse, so be careful about the emotions. What else? Overcoming different heartbreaks. What's the concluder? What's the Saturnian part of the situation here? So you have the transformation. Okay. Yeah, you are planting a lot of seeds. You're preparing a lot of seeds with your inspiration and putting them out there. So thanks to everyone who joined this stream. So obviously this is my just beginning this in terms of doing it on video. I do this professionally on like Gig Salad, but I'm expanding. I want to do more readings on here, kind of part where you are able to learn it and get the different esoteric information and discover it with me, as well as like it's a real reading. So just go through it, see which part applies to you, resonate, and tell me about it. And let's learn I Ching. Let's experience it and figure out what the divine is calling us to do. I might read, I kind of want to read before I go the other translations of this real quick. So bear with me. This is the Baines translation. So we have 50. Okay. So when it comes to 50, and welcome who just joined. We appreciate you here. Okay, so 50, we have clean fire, gentle, gentle wind, wood. This is the sixth line of the image Ting, the cauldron. At the bottom of the legs are open over the belly, and the ears come. And to the one moment, might need to adjust the setting. This image suggests the idea of nourishment. The Ting, the cast of bronze, was the vessel that was held at the held the cooked viands, and the heads of the family served the food from the Ting into the bowls of the guests. So the well likewise has a secondary meaning of giving nourishment, but rather more in relation to the people. Ting is a utensil pertaining to refined civilization, suggests the fostering and nourishing of able men, which redounded to the benefit of the state. The hexagram, the well, are the only one in the two book of changes that represent concrete, man-made objects. Yet here is to thought as to abstract connotation. The sun below is wood and wind. Above is flame. Thus together they stand for the flame kindled by wood and wind. This suggests an idea of preparing food. The cauldron, supreme good fortune, success, while the well relates to social foundations of our life, and the foundation is likened to the water that serves to nourish and growing wood. The present hexagram refers to the cultural superstructure of society. Here, the wood serves as a nourishment for the flame, the spirit. All that is visible must grow beyond itself and extend into the realms of the invisible. Thereby, it receives its true concentration and clarity and takes firm root in the cosmic order. Here we see civilization as it reaches its culmination in religion. The Ting serves an official sacrifice to God. So the highest earthly values must be sacrificed to the divine. And the truly divine does not manifest itself apart from man. The supreme revelation of God appears in the prophets and holy men. To venerate them is true veneration of God. The will of God, as revealed for them, should be accepted in humility. It brings inner alignment, true understanding of the world that leads to good fortune and success. So we have fire over wood, the cauldron. The superior man consolidates his fate by making his position correct. The fate of the fire. The fate of the fire depends on wood. As long as there is wood below, the fire burns above. It is the same in the human life. There is in man likewise a fate that leads power to his life, and if he succeeds in assigning the right place to life and to fate, thus brings the two into harmony. He puts his fate on the firm footing, and the words contain hints about the fostering of life, and handed on by oral tradition in the secret of Chinese yoga. Interesting they use the word yoga. Okay. So I'm going to go to the lines here. Okay, line 2 and 3. There is food in the cauldron. My comrades are envious, but they cannot harm me. Good fortune. In a period of advanced culture, it is of greatest importance that one should achieve something significant. But if a man concentrates on such real undertakings, he may indeed experience envy and disfavor, but that is not dangerous. The more that he limits himself to his actual achievements, the less harm that the envious can inflict upon him. Yeah, tell me what you guys think about that line. I'd love to hear it. So you have the third place. Uh, we have the third line of 50. The handle of the cauldron is altered. One is impeded in his way of life. The fat of the pheasant is not eaten. Once rain falls, the remorse is spent. Good fortune comes in the end. The handle is a meaning for uplifting the cauldron. If the cauldrons are altered, the cauldron cannot be lifted up and used. Sad to say, the delicious food in it, such as pheasant fat, cannot be eaten by anyone. This describes a man who is highly evolved, civilized, and finds himself in a place where no one recognizes him. This is a severe block to his effectiveness. All his good qualities and gifts of mind thus go to waste if he will only see to it that he is possessed of something truly spiritual. Time is bound to come sooner or later. The difficulties will be resolved and all will go well. A falling a rain symbolizes here, as other instances, a release of tension. So we have 50. You can take those two lines that I just read, 2 and 3, and make those the if statement. And the then statement for your reading will be 35 here. Let me go to that. Hello, my little creatures. Thank you for hanging out with me here. Let me see how many people are watching this. It's probably billions of people watching this right now. Trillions. Hey, y'all. Okay. 35. Love how everyone's so shy as soon as I say. Okay. Progress, 35. Clinging fire into the receptive earth. Li over Kun. The hexagram corresponds with the sun rising over the earth. Therefore, it is a symbol of rapid, easy progress, which at the same time means ever-widening expansion and clarity. Wow. Amazing. The sun rising over the earth. I'm going to read that again. That's so powerful. So we have the sun rising over the earth is a symbol of rapid, easy progress, which at the same time means ever-widening expansion and clarity. Judgment, progress, is the powerful prince, is honored with horses in large number. In a single day, he is granted audience 3 times. An example of progress. This picture is at a time when a powerful feudal lord rallies the other lords around the sovereign and pledges fealty and peace. The sovereign rewards him richly and invites him to closer intimacy. I'd like to also read some more information about the lines for those of you who do not know. So we have the second and third line, because they're in this reading, are the second line is related, especially because this is the secondary hexagram, is how to prepare for a different journey and outcome if you choose a different path. We also have when you're dealing with the transformed hexagram, so that's be 35, or yeah, 35 in this, sorry, 35. This is a maturation or destruction to defeat. This is the conquest, right? So the first, so hexagram 50 is to support and fortify. So they're giving you the yin and the yin and the yang situation here. So yeah, easy progress. I love this name, or advancement. The twofold idea is set forth is an actual effect of progress, emanates from a man who is in a dependent position, though whom others regard as their equal, and are therefore willing to follow. The leader has enough clarity of vision not to abuse his great influence, but to use it rather for the benefit of his ruler. His ruler will in turn is free. His ruler in turn is free of all jealousy. Showers presence on the great man and invites him continually to his court. An enlightened ruler and an obedient servant. This is the condition on which the great progress depends. So we have the image of a sun rising over the earth, the image of progress. The superior man himself brightens his bright virtue. The light of the sun rises over the earth by nature clear. The higher the sun rises, the more it emerges from the dark mist, spreading the pristine purity of its rays over an ever widening area. The real nature of the man is likewise originally good, but it becomes clouded by contact with earthly things and needs purification before it can shine forth in its native clarity. We're going to go to line 2 and 3. And you can go back in this video to the information I presented about the lines. Get curious. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share this video. And give me your thoughts and who I should have on my show, because I do a podcast here, and what who I should invite on here. Any tips for the reading, because I'm kind of new to doing longer readings on here, so I appreciate any constructive feedback. So 6 in the second place means progressing, but in sorrow. Perseverance brings good fortune. Then one obtains great happiness from one's ancestors. Wow, someone's going to be really blessed from their ancestors. Someone's really has some ancestors that are watching over them right now. Really good. Progress is halted. An individual is kept from getting in touch with the man in authority from whom he has a connection. When this happens, he must remain persevering, although he is grieved. Then with a maternal gentleness, the man in question will bestow great happiness upon him. The happiness comes to him, and well deserved, because in this case, mutual attraction does not rest on selfish or partisan motives, but on firm, correct principles. Going to the third line here. So all are in accord. Remorse disappears. A man strives onward in association with others whose backing encourages him. This dispels any cause for regret over the fact that he does not have enough independence to triumph unaided over every hostile turn of fate. I'm going to read this again. A man strives onward in association with others whose backing encourages him. This dispels any cause for regret over the fact that he does not have enough independence to triumph unaided over every hostile turn of fate. Wow. So I think I will conclude this reading. Let me know if you have any sources that you would like me. Wow, I'm concluding this at 108 here. It's a sign. Wow.